what is the way to building to try and compete with the Golden State Warriors right now?
I don't think Cleveland. I mean, I wake up this morning thinking something completely different in Cleveland. They got some major questions. First of all, who's going to build? David Griffin, who gets no credit as general manager, is a superior general manager, and he's been a great executive for multiple teams. So he's a free agent. He may leave. So who would even be doing it? We got to start there. Is the owner willing to pay that much more into the luxury tax for a year, not knowing what LeBron is going to do? I mean, could they sign LeBron to an extension? I guess I don't know all the new rules off the top of my head, but do we really think LeBron's going to do that with Cleveland? Or what would Cleveland be willing to do? How dramatic a move do they want to make? You want to trade Kyrie Irving for Chris Paul or try to? I mean, because if you're LeBron, you're not worried about what's going to happen because you're trading up in years. And what's going to happen because Kyrie's only 24 and he's got more time. LeBron doesn't need time. He needs to win now. So what are they going to do? What are the Cavaliers? That's a move. You know, would Chris Paul be interested in coming to play with LeBron James in Cleveland instead of letting LeBron look lovingly toward Los Angeles after this time next year? So a big part of this is, what does Cleveland want to do? What are they committed to? Are they going to say we've been to the finals 3 times and we won one and that's that? I mean, all these things are on the table. Remember, they got free agents, the support players, Korver, Darren Williams. They got guys with opt-outs. Kyrie's one of them. In a year, LeBron obviously has one. I'm missing somebody. Maybe Love, too.
Well, wouldn't that be really, Michael Wilbon here on the show, wouldn't that technically be LeBron's call? Or if 3's enough, if you will, three finals appearances is enough. And, you know, I looked at the Cavs, and I didn't sit there and think that Kyrie was a problem. I mean,
but he's not the solution. I mean, Kyrie is spectacular just to watch as a fan. He is. He's spectacular. But I watched the finals, several games of it, sitting with the following people: Paul Pierce, champion, headed to the Hall of Fame; Chauncey Billups, champion, certainly going to get Hall of Fame strong consideration; and Jalen Rose, who's played in huge games in the finals and the conference finals. And they were often exasperated from a team standpoint with what it is that doesn't happen when Kyrie scores like that. It's like watching a game with Magic Johnson, and you're sitting there, and he's looking at something else totally different from the wonder of finishing at the rim, which Kyrie Irving can do, as well as anyone who has ever played. It's spectacular. But when LeBron James says in the month of March he needs a playmaker, what should that have told us? He didn't have another one on the team. And they couldn't win. Golden State has 5 of them. Guys who can all get 8 or 10 assists on a given night. They don't do it every night, but they can. That's not what he does. That's what Chris Paul does. Chris Paul is a superior playmaker, still one of the 2 or 3 best in the league. So what are we talking about in terms of commitment? It is LeBron's call. Does LeBron want to stay? What's Cleveland going to commit to if LeBron James says to Dan Gilbert, you know, I'm really thinking about this L.A. thing where I'm building this $20 million house? What's Dan Gilbert going to say? Are you going to saddle up with a bunch of other guys and pay into the luxury tax? I mean, there's a lot to be determined. And we don't. And LeBron said last night, listen to his first quote: "I got to sit down for a while and figure this thing out."
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on radio stations across the country and audience.
If you like that video, be sure to download our app. Don't have any memory on your phone? Let's start to delete some of those slow-mo videos you have. And you know which ones I'm talking about.